My name is Wendy Kramer, and I live in Nederland, Colorado. I have a donor-conceived child, Ryan, who just turned 18 years old. I was married about 19 years ago, and we had some infertility issues in our marriage and decided to go with donor insemination. So 18 years ago, my son Ryan was born, and about a year after that, my ex-husband and I split up and both agreed that I would raise Ryan by myself.
I learned I was donor conceived when I was 2 years old. I think naturally at any point in your life, if you grow up with a single parent, you start to observe other children with more than one parent, and you begin to become curious about your own situation. So I was no exception, and it was one day when I was 2, I came up to my mom after experiencing a little bit of curiosity about it. I asked her, I said, "Did my dad die or what?" And she was sort of taken aback, I guess, as she wasn't really expecting me to start asking so early. But we sort of had the conversation at that point. It was very simple. She explained to me in a straightforward way as possible about the sperm and the egg, and she wanted to have a baby, but we needed a nice man who we didn't know to help, and just sort of a level that a 2-year-old can understand.
He knew right from the beginning because I wanted him to be proud of every part of who he was. No shame of anything that had to do with who he was. And knowing that he was donor conceived is just a part of who he is.
There was a time when I was very young when I would introduce myself as, "Hi, I'm Ryan and I'm a donor baby."
My hair's too brown?
No, I mean for this, we'll go 2 weeks without one. Getting upper body strength.
And me and him, so we're good buddies, and we're very lucky. I'm a very lucky mother. He's even at times, you've attributed our close relationship because it is just us.
Absolutely. This cheese is moldy,
It's blue cheese, honey.
Why is there moldy blue stuff on it?
Because that's what blue cheese is.
Oh,
You almost hit that hummingbird.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You came like that close to the hummingbird.
He's fine. How do hummingbirds fly through like heavy rainstorm? Well, I would become curious about my background, my genetic origins, whenever I would discover something new about myself, whether that was something intellectually, something that I was good at, whether it was a sport or a new, subject, math or science or something like that. Whenever I would sort of discover a part of myself that didn't come from my maternal side of the family, it was always sort of driving this curiosity as to where that came from. And obviously if it wasn't from my mom's side, it was from this anonymous donor side.
When I got pregnant, we really didn't have a choice between anonymous and open donors. I wish we had, but we didn't. So we knew right from the beginning that we would probably never get to know who this donor was. But at the same time, knowing there might be half brothers and sisters out there, he wanted to know who they were. So we turned to the internet and we posted a little message thinking, well, if Ryan is curious, maybe other donor-conceived people might be curious too.
My mom started the Yahoo group. We put a message up there that just sort of said what my situation was and why I was curious, and we just wanted to know if there was anybody else out there, in a situation like I was.
Our one little message on the internet is what's grown and grown and grown into the donor sibling registry, where now we've got more than 22,000 people. We've helped match up about 5,600 people, half sibling to half sibling, as well as donor to child. And that's one of the reasons I set up the DSR too. I didn't want Ryan to come to me later on and say, "Why didn't you search for me when I was young when you could have? Why didn't you do that for me?" And we very quickly realized that the industry wouldn't help us in finding these brothers and sisters. I think that they need to be held accountable and responsible for accurate record keeping. Knowing who all the families are, knowing who the kids are, having contact information, and then having the medical information shared between the families and the donor. I think that's really important, and that's basically what we're doing right now. The industry's not regulated. They say they are, and maybe at the front door there's some regulation as far as testing donors and diseases and HIV and things like that. Out the back door, post-pregnancy, post-donation, there's nothing. There's no accurate record keeping. There's no one to monitor that. Sperm banks don't know how many kids are born from any given donor. They don't know where they are. They don't know their health histories. There's no updating for donors of their health history. It's a mess.
My name is Klaus Rodgaard, and we are at Cryos New York. This company is a sperm bank. It's of course the donor sperm that we offer. The mission in the company, I think, is of course get good donors, good, healthy, friendly, nice donors that can help people have some babies. This is the lab where the samples are processed, where the donors hand in the samples right here, and then we process the samples down here. In the back is the storage room where we keep all the sperm. And then we have the donor rooms. My wife chose those pictures. So. Yeah. All the sperm is kept in liquid nitrogen, so we get a new one of these every week with nitrogen. We keep the sperm down here. So you can actually you can see all the samples sits down here. Yeah, well, they're frozen out here first, and out in the lab first, and then when they're frozen, they go in here, and then they are stored in here for 180 days before we can start selling them.